And this time I'm transmitting from up the mast. I am some 7 meters above the surface. We are sailing across the Vänern lake in Sweden, and I need to show you down here they're taking down a sail. The wind has dropped, so down here on deck there are 2 people taking down a sail, and the trick here to not get this light wind sail into the sea, which Matthias is doing a great job grabbing all the sail. It's very nice to have these light cloth, light wind sails that even if it's just 1 or 2 meters per second, like it is now, that you can actually keep on sailing. But we got a bit fed up and we started the engine, so we're plowing here forward with engine and a slight sail support. The aft sail, which I don't want to film because I might fall down if I do. But take a look at very calm Vänern here, and we're going in towards Motala. It's a city, sort of in the center of the lower Sweden, so to speak. And down there we have Vadstena, famous maybe for its monastery. We had some female saint, I think, that converted to Catholicism. She had a lot of hallucinations that she wrote down, which contain a lot of moral preachings on how the rest of us should behave. And God was not pleased with our behavior, I guess it was. So you cannot see it, but I can see it because my eyes are better than the camera. That there is an island there at the mouth of Motala with a little lighthouse, which is soon going to start blinking. And we're going to enter the canal. We've now reached the downward part of Göta Canal, a canal that split Sweden in half, built in the 18th century. And down there, Jana, our main cook, has joined the work. And as you can get a view here on top of the boat, that we have a bowsprit where Matthias is detaching the light wind Jenaker, which is a sail that mixes the properties of a Genoa and a spinnaker. And we have a dinghy on deck, a small boat. It can take us ashore if we anchored out. Got a life raft there under the main red sail there. And if we're looking a bit aft here, our very popular aft deck. Aft is the back of the boat, which is a very stable and comfortable place to hang around and do things on. So they're now stuffing down the sail into a bag, which we will have to tie onto deck so it doesn't fly overboard, because you don't know how the winds change. We are on a process of adding more mast steps so we can climb up even the front mast. You see maybe 2 mast steps there up front. And you also here have the spreaders. They are spreading out from the mast, keeping the stays, the metal wires in place that holds the mast. And up there, some 15 meters above the surface, it's an arrow that points into the wind, tells us where the wind comes from unless we feel it. And we have some kind of radio receiver or transmitter up there. I see a little cable that's loose there. That's why we want to get up there with the mast steps to check out this stuff. We sort of a mystery half the boat. When you have an old boat from the 70s, there's a lot of function you don't understand. So the nice thing with this boat is that it's not only a means of transportation, slow and steady, but it's also a accommodation for up to 6, 7, 8, depending on the weather and how much you like each other. It's also a kitchen and toilet, and it has a lot of electronics, which you can get information from the rest of the world, weather information and stuff like that, and also for navigational purposes. So it's quite a complex thing, boat, and it takes quite a lot of, shall we say, mental vigilance to master a thing like this. basically keeping yourself safe and keeping the boat safe, and then actually moving the safe and keep moving the boat and keeping all the functions intact of the boat. So it's sort of an educational platform, one could say, that is challenging. Because it asks you to do things at a certain moment. You cannot really wait sometimes. You actually have to act. And you might be in a situation where it's sort of out of your comfort zone because you haven't really rehearsed things. Because some things you can't really rehearse. Sometimes life can only be lived in a scale 1 to 1. And we're flying the European flag because we have an international crew or a European crew. Matthias down there is from Czech. We have Sofia, Ukrainian. We have in the kitchen right now French woman. Aren't we lucky? Unfortunately, she's a vegan. No, that's nice, but it limits the things she serves us. She brought French cheese though, which we are very much in favor of. So we had some French cheese and a little bit of a lecture on how to eat them and not eat them. She was actually devastated that we want to eat the cheese before we ate the regular meal. And also parts of this journey, in this case, this boat is rented, leased in parts for trying to educate people in leadership and also in methods of using adventure as a learning method, so to speak. Not a classroom, not a formal education, more a non-formal education where you have to do things, a bit of trial and error. But as I mentioned, you don't want too many errors at the sea. Because the consequences are a bit higher here, meaning it makes it a bit more serious. You have to be more on top of things and sharper. I'm now going to end this recording by looking back at where we came from on the other side. And they say that red sky at night means sailors' delight. It's going to have calm winds tomorrow as well. But it doesn't really matter because we are being on the canal tomorrow. Over and out from the mast at the sailing yacht Bon Aventura.